Thank you. Harper is apparently my emotional support.
Questions for Harper or Coach Dani?
All right, see you guys.
What's your level of excitement, nervousness, fear, anticipation for this weekend?
Definitely really excited. We haven't really done anything like this specific format where it's alumni versus the Huskers, and it's really exciting. And I know it's a good chance for me to see a lot of my former teammates, former alums that you might stay connected with, but you don't get to see them all that often. So it's fun to get to see them. But just the playing is going to be really exciting. It's a really good roster, and I know I'm definitely nervous, but because we haven't practiced together or anything like that, we're going to do like a 30-minute little practice right before we play and see how that goes. But I don't feel that nervous, but I know when I walk out into Devaney, it'll feel like I'm an athlete again, and that's a little bit nerve-wracking, but mostly excited.
Are you going to look just like from a fashion standpoint? Are you going to look like you did?
Harper's favorite question. Probably not. Well, we're not wearing jerseys. We'll have T-shirts. So we had talked about everyone bringing back one of their old jerseys, but I'm sure some people don't even know where they're at or things like that. But we'll have T-shirts, and I'll probably wear leggings. But I will have knee pads on and shoes, obviously. So.
What's the process of this whole thing coming together?
You know, it was really just a random idea we had in the spring. We were talking about what we could do in the fall and fill up our long preseason and things like that. So it was just a real short idea that we kind of just started asking around alumni who were still playing, would you be interested? And there was a lot of interest, and we didn't have a date picked out or all the details finalized, so it was really nice that everyone was super flexible and able to make things work. Like Callie was not sure what she would be doing for her professional preseason, and she kind of told us a couple weeks ago, I'm for sure in. And so it was really cool to see that people were willing to be flexible and make it work, and I think in the future it can be a really big, really fun event.
Who's responsible for putting the alumni team together?
Like the roster starting lineup? Oh, we haven't even really talked about it. I think
Was it you? Was it Dani?
we all collaborated and just kind of thought of who's still playing, who could still be playing, and things like that. And then I reached out to most people because I have a lot of people's numbers, emails, those things. And so it was kind of hard to get everyone all on the same page and on the same day and figure out everyone's big girl schedules. But it ended up working out pretty good. We have a good roster.
How long are you expecting it to take for the competitive juices to
Oh,
kick in?
0.1. Yeah. Well, being in the gym with these guys, like, they're so competitive. They're always kind of talking smack to each other, and then they'll make little comments to me sometimes, and it's really playful and really fun. So I think right from the start, I think it'll be more joking competitiveness than serious, but I'm sure there'll be some of those serious moments too.
Yeah, I wanted to know how much they've been getting after you this week.
Me, not really. I don't feel like it. I think just in like the past and in practices and stuff, like I'll set a ball, they'll be like, oh, you still got it. And then if I don't, then it's like, oh, and they like give me crap and all of that. But I know a bunch of them, like Harper yesterday, we were talking about the All-American wall just before practice. And she's like, Kelly, you're up there. I'm like, I know. I know. So there's just some fun banter like that.
Dani mentioned that this game is going to be somewhat of a dress rehearsal for the
Mhm.
start of the season. You guys, I mean, obviously it's a fun match, but you see it as somewhat of a responsibility to make sure these girls are ready for that first game.
Yeah, I think in the inter-squad scrimmage, obviously everyone plays a lot. We played 4 sets, so everyone got a chance in different spots and things like that. But when it's more of a real scrimmage and you're playing an actual team, obviously it could be 3 sets, it could be 5 sets. Some people might play more than others, and I think navigating that as a coaching staff is like, okay, wow, we have to do this a whole week earlier and kind of talk through that. And so it is just sooner than past years where we would scrimmage ourselves on a Saturday and then we scrimmage ourselves again in the red-white and then we have our first game. But now it's working through actual lineups, who might pass next to each other, who might block next to each other, and kind of envisioning that a little bit.
Is there anyone you're looking to play with, who you've coached with, have played with a lot of these people in Nebraska?
Yeah, most of them I did play with. I think Gina Mancuso was always kind of my idol when I was a little girl and wanting to come to Nebraska because she was from my hometown, and we've always been good friends and stayed connected, but I never actually played with her. I think we were off by 1 year, so that'll be a fun one. Us Papillion girls, and then Lindsay Krause from Papillion too. I think it'll be fun to play with the girls that I coached too.
You were here when Dani was taking coach. Now, you've seen her head coach. How have you seen her evolution as a coach?
That's a good question. To be honest, to me, she feels the exact same. And I think that's a good thing because she's a very authentic, genuine person and a straight shooter for sure. So I haven't really noticed anything too different because I think even 10 years ago or however long ago it was that I played for her, she feels like the same person to me. And I think that's a great quality. And I think obviously is very confident and very strong in who she is. And I think that's an amazing quality.
And then just as a follow-up, you talked about last week that, sorry, Harper.
No, you're good.
This is probably the first press conference she's ever had where she's like, I'm not answering any questions. I know. Sorry.
They talked about last week, she brought no over assistant coaches from Louisville, and so that's for her has been the hardest part, is just getting on the same communication schedule with you all. So how have you been able to make that transition easier for her, going from John Cook to now her as the head coach?
I think at first, she kind of would just explain to us, like, I want everyone's opinion. We're all going to plan practice together and, like, truly, really collaborate. And the first couple pre-practice meetings, she was like, okay, what do you guys think we should do today? And we were just, like, trying to feel her out while she was also asking for our opinion. And I think now, after the whole spring season and the summer and a lot of travel together, recruiting and things like that, we understand what that collaboration truly looks like. And every day it's maybe someone different is speaking in a meeting and stuff like that, and it's really collaborative. But at first we were kind of like, what does she want us to do? And she's like, well, what do you guys want to do? But now I think we're on the same page for sure.
Okay, Harper. What are your emotions going into Saturday, playing against some Husker legends, a current coach of yours, a former coach of yours, and former teammates too?
Honestly, like, I barely know some of the people that are playing with Kelly, so I think it's going to be exciting, but it's also going to be interesting. Like, it's the first time we're going to have, like, a true lineup out there and probably not mixing around as much. But I'm really excited. Like, a lot of the girls, like Allie and Lindsay, like, I got to play with, so it's going to be fun playing against them. But yeah, I'm just really excited, and I know it's going to be really fun and competitive.
What was your reaction when you first heard that they wanted to do this?
I was a little confused. Like, I had heard comments made about it during our beach season, but I just didn't think that it was actually going to become a thing. So we're really excited. I think I found out about it, like, through Instagram. Like, I actually didn't know it was official, so it was interesting, but it's a really interesting idea.
How are you treating Kelly in practice this week? Are you more skeptical of her? Are you rooting her more? Or?
No, me and Lainey always joke with Kelly about it. Like, she said, I'll always be like, I forget Kelly's a 2-time All-American, and she won, two national championships? So we always joke with her about it, but it's going to be fun actually playing against her.
What does she look like in the gym too?
Kelly? This looked good.
I set like 4 balls.
Yeah, she set like a few balls, but
Yeah.
I mean, I get to see it sometimes, so it'll be fun.
Hey, Harper, after the film review of Saturday, how would you assess your performance and what would you want to improve on?
From the red-white?
Yes.
I would say my passing a little bit. I feel like that's something I've worked on a lot the past 2 years. I was really proud of my blocking. I think that's been something I put a lot of work into this spring season. So I would say, other than blocking, just my passing, and that's something I feel like I can just always be more consistent with. I feel like I'm at the age where I might not be getting any better, but I need to be more consistent and be smarter and find ways to just improve. But I feel like my passing is something I just want to continue to work on.
Rebekah was awarded with Looker of the Year on Saturday, and everybody seemed really excited for her.
Yeah.
Just what did she do in the off-season that made her deserving of that?
She's put in a lot of work, and I know she's expressed how committed she is this year to putting in so much work and love into her senior year, because this is her last year here, and she's from here, so she takes the culture and the family feel of Nebraska volleyball very seriously, because she grew up watching it. So she's put in a lot of work, and I wouldn't be able to, like, explain it, but she has been putting in so much effort on and off the court this year, and it showed off in the weight room. So, and we all were able to acknowledge that. So I'm proud of her, and I'm very happy that people outside of our team were able to see the work she's put in.
Why was blocking something that you wanted to take extra time with?
I feel like blocking is one of the hardest things to adjust to when you get to college, and I feel like my freshman and sophomore year, I was never a great blocker, but as we get to a higher level and as I'm going into my upperclassmen season, I really want to make sure that's something that I improve on, and it can be moments of the game that change points and that give you an advantage, so I want to just make sure that I'm keeping it consistent.
Season starts in 9 days. Does that seem far enough away, or can you wait for that, or how do you feel with that? start of the season coming?
You know, I felt like fall camp was going to go by really slow for me. I don't know why. Just starting out, I thought it was going to go by super slow, but it's not. It's gone by super fast, and I'm really excited. And I think the red, white, and alumni match and us scrimmaging at practice every day helps because we get into playing and you feel like you're really close. So the alumni match will be fun because I feel like right after that's when it's really going to hit that we have a game like a few days later. So. It's gone by fast for most of us, I think, but, 2 days are hard. They're really hard, but we get through it together, so it's been cool.
Bergen talked last week about how there's a lot more playing, a lot more scrimmaging in practice.
Mm-hmm.
How have you seen that benefit you and the rest of the team?
Yeah, I feel like we're a super competitive team, and we have a lot of girls this year. This is one of the biggest rosters I've ever been a part of, so we have the numbers to scrimmage every day. And John didn't scrimmage as much as Dani. I know Dani likes to play a lot, and it's been fun just learning and seeing how we all work together because, you want to scrimmage because you want to see what lineups go well, who passes next to each other well, who can block together. So I think it's smart on Dani's part to have us play as much as we do just because we get to see and feel out like our lineups and feel who we play next to.
Time for a couple more.
Harper, back to the alumni match this
Yeah.
upcoming weekend. How do you scout this thing out? Typically, you guys know what the tendencies are of your opponent, but if they haven't even practiced, what do you even do?
I have no idea. I mean, like Kelly's usually a part of our scouting report. Like she does it for us. So I don't know what we're gonna do. I don't even know how to answer that. Like Jalen's probably gonna just tell us to go out there and play. I don't know.
Or they'll have like a parody one or something.
Yeah,
That would
I don't
be
know.
funny.
I mean, I watched Kenzie Maloney play like when I was in 8th grade, but other than that, I only know how to play against Allie and Lindsay.
Yeah.
So
It's true.
Is there anything up for grabs on the team? Like, is there anything up for grabs? For
Like any
wins?
bets?
no, maybe we should make one though.
Yeah.
Danny and I had talked about making a bingo card. Maybe we should
could
do that.
Yeah, we could do that.
Like acing Jordan Larson or something. It's on the bingo card.
Yeah, we
Kelly,
would.
what has it been like for you to work less with the setters and more passers?
Mm-hmm. It's definitely a big change because I feel like the two skills like are very opposite. Like let's say you went from middles to outsides, like obviously you add passing and things, but it's been an adjustment, but Dani has been great, and anytime there's setters broken out, her and I are both over there. It's not like I can't talk to them anymore, and there's a really good feeling in the gym of everyone can coach everyone, and then once we get to games, maybe it's a little bit more, here's your position, offense, defense, but it's been an adjustment, and it's different for me watching different things. Like, obviously I was a setter, and I love the art of offense and decision-making, and you really don't have that as much for your liberos. It's a lot more just defense and reading. So I like the creative parts of it, and we try and talk a lot about that rather than just, are we passing with this exact technique and are you in the exact right spot? We talk about like reading and things like that, and that makes it really enjoyable, I think, for all of us.
We talked a lot with the players about just how the transition went from John Cook to Dani, but what was that on your point of view, and also just not working with someone that you were coached by and worked with for such a long time?
Mm-hmm. It was a big change, and when people ask me that question, I'm like, it's so much the same but so much different at the same time. I think the values and what the type of teams they wanted to have are really similar. They just kind of go about it two different ways. So for me, it's really cool to see a different perspective because I've only ever worked at Nebraska for John Cook. So seeing someone who's equally as successful do it a little bit differently is a really cool perspective for me. And I just feel like I get the great opportunity of learning more about these different styles and more about myself without having to move myself and my family across the country. And I feel really, really grateful for that.
I know you're a Natter now too, but
Mm-hmm.
it's like to have another hunter in the gym.
Well, Ryan and her family, they joke that we're cousins. And so actually the other day when Ryan first came up to our office in two-a-days, it now says Coach Natter. And she just went up to my door and was like, no. And because I know she spoke about it too. Their family has a lot of pride in who they are and being a family. And I think they accepted me as part of their family. And so she was a little sad to see that go. But it's been funny.
All right, thank you, everybody. Thanks
Shout
for
out
being here in a few
AJ.
minutes.
Score fire. Thanks, everybody.